Hello, everyone, and welcome to our presentations. Today, we'll be talking about intertextuality. We are Group 2, and that includes Dilpreet, Jaden, Manveer, and Alex. For today's presentations, we'll go over the overview, examples, and finally, the conclusions. For overview, we'll talk about the definition of intertextuality, different types of intertextuality, and what it does. Now, intertextuality is the connections between different texts. Let's break this down further. For example, we have film A. A film is a form of text, and in each text there are unique elements. Film B draws elements from film A, such as quotations or allusions to an element of film A, and that connections is intertextuality. And this kind of connections can exist over many different texts. Now, there are three main types of intertextuality that includes quotations, allusions, and accidental. For quotation intertextuality, it refers to a specific quote from the original text. For example, a viewer may hear, "May the Force be with you," in another movie, and recognize that as a Star Wars line. Due to the well-known, iconic quote from Star Wars, it established a direct connection between the movie and its quote text. For allusion intertextuality, this type of intertextuality refers to the text in an indirect way. For example, if another film played a soundtrack to Star Wars, viewer would immediately understand the reference and connect to the film. Accidental intertextuality happens when an element from another film or written text is referenced without the intentions of the author. Now that we know about the different types of intertextuality, let's look at what it does. Intertextuality can help enhance engagement between the viewer and the film. The reference in one movie can remind the viewer of the original text, and the viewer feel more related to the film due to the common existing knowledge. It's also often used for comedic purposes, such as The Simpsons. Now that we know about intertextuality, let's go over some example. Here's Manveer, Alex, and Dilpreet.
Cross-text intertextuality is the concept of a film, TV show, or character connecting and referencing another film or TV show. It allows the audience a sense of familiarity as well as links similar narratives together. As Star Wars became widely popular over the years, many TV shows and films made intertextual references to the film.
So, what are we learning today?
Chi, internal energy, the essence of life. It moves inside of us, flows through our bodies, give us power from within.
I get it. Like the Force in Star Wars. You're Yoda, and I'm like a Jedi.
The first cross-text intertextuality example is Karate Kid. With different Star Wars movies coming out before Karate Kid referenced characters in the movie to reference a relationship. Mr. Han teaches Dre Parker about internal energy. Parker then refers to his relationship with Mr. Han to the relationship between Yoda and Jedi in Star Wars. Therefore, the cross-textual reference comes in with Dre Parker speaking about Star Wars characters. This reference is used as an allusion to represent how Parker learns from his teacher. Further, it allows a level of depth for the viewers as they understand more of the relationship that Mr. Han and Parker truly have. The second example of a cross-text intertextuality example from Star Wars is in Captain America: The Winter Soldier. As Captain America: The Winter Soldier aired well after the Star Wars movies, Steve Rogers pulled out a notebook of cultural phenomenon he needed to catch up on, one of which was Star Wars. This reference helped the movie acknowledge the time Captain America missed, as Star Wars was known to be quite popular over the years. This reference creates an illusion for the viewers. They can understand all the emotion and time lost without it being directly told to them.
Surrender, Buzz Lightyear. I have won.
I'll never give in. You killed my father.
No, Buzz. I am your father.
Finally, the last example of cross-text intertextuality is in Toy Story 2. In the video shown, it is evident that Toy Story 2 created the character Zurg as a representation of Darth Vader in Star Wars. The character also quotes one of Darth Vader's famous quotes by saying, "I am your father." With Zurg carrying similar features and saying similar quotes as Darth Vader, the cross-text intertextuality is present with a representation of Darth Vader in the movie. The use of the same quotations is used to familiarize and connect with the audience.
Out of text, people and event intertextuality creates a connection between a character or event depicted in a fictional TV show or movie and an actual person or event. Given the time period in which Star Wars was created and conceptually designed, the original trilogy had been significantly influenced by the events of the Cold War and the Vietnam War. Example 1. The Telstar and the Death Star. Launched during the height of the conflict between the Soviet Union and the United States, the Telstar was a satellite used in an attempt to ease the tension and demonstrate the United States' willingness to share their space feeds with the public through transatlantic television broadcasting. The Death Star acts as an opposite to the Telstar, as it was made to invoke fear and gain total control, being used as a weapon of mass destruction, whereas the Telstar acts as an attempt to connect and symbolizes peace.
This year they say there are 800,000 pairs of boots standing heel to heel, waiting for the Führer's final speech. And the high spot comes when, after a detailed review of Nazi achievements, Hitler cries, "My life's fight has not been in vain."
Indem ich euch ihre Blicke weise ich, mein Lebenskampf ist nicht umsonst gekämpft.
Disorder. At this very moment, in a system far from here, the New Republic lies to the galaxy, while secretly supporting the treachery of the loathsome resistance. This fierce machine which you have built, upon which we stand, will bring an end to the Senate.
Example 2. The Nazi regime and the First Order. Throughout the Star Wars series, it's been apparent that the Empire and the First Order have been heavily influenced by the Nazis. The atmosphere of the First Order mirrors that of the strict totalitarian Nazi regime. The aesthetic copies that of the Nazis down to the patch on the upper left arm of the First Order officers, imitating the swastika armband worn by the Nazis, also located on the left arm. The famous stormtroopers are inspired by Nazi stormtroopers, which were German soldiers in specialized assault units, first appearing in World War I. The imagery of General Hux addressing the First Order from a large stage draped with the First Order flags is a similar representation of how Hitler addressed the assembled Nazis, such as in Nuremberg, Germany, 1936. Example 3. Richard M. Nixon and Emperor Palpatine. It is common knowledge that the original trilogy drew events from both the Cold War and the Vietnam War, with Emperor Palpatine being a character partially based off Richard M. Nixon, with George Lucas stating he was a politician. Richard M. Nixon was his name. He subverted the Senate and finally took over and became an imperial guy. And he was evil, but he pretended to be nice. This was due to Nixon's constant disregard for the law through known scandals and solicitation and support of criminal activity, especially during his re-election campaign, where he attempted to remain in power by any means. Nixon even went as far to state, "When a president does it, that means it is not illegal."
Nostalgic intertextuality is a form of intertextuality that creates a connection between a movie or TV show to a past time or life. The nostalgic reference causes the audience to feel a longing for this given past time or life.
Spider-Man from YouTube. I'm not. You were on the ceiling.
Take, for example, the movie Spider-Man: Homecoming. In a scene near the beginning of the movie, Ned holds a Star Wars Lego figure on Peter Parker's shoulder and says, "Join me, and together we'll build my new Lego Death Star." In a subsequent scene, Ned is sitting in Peter's room holding a Lego Death Star when Peter enters wearing his Spider-Man suit. Ned, shocked, drops the Lego Death Star. The references to the Lego Death Star throughout this movie may remind viewers of a time in their childhood when the Lego Death Star was released and children were excited to buy and assemble it. Another example would be the Flintstones movie from 1994. The movie begins with a scene in which the Flintstones family go to a drive-in movie theater to watch the film George Lucas' Star Wars. This example uses allusion to remind viewers of a past time when drive-in movie theaters were a lot more common than they are today. It also may remind some viewers specifically of when they watched the movie Star Wars in a drive-in theater when it was first released, or it might make them wish they could go back to such a time. Lastly, consider the movie Arthur 3, The War of the Two Worlds. In a scene near the end of the movie, the character Darkos is dressed in a mask and cape which resemble that of Darth Vader. A young George Lucas sees him as he walks into the room and asks if he can film him. This scene gives viewers a fictional glimpse of the past by alluding to a time when George Lucas was much younger, and it jokingly shows viewers how he found inspiration for the Star Wars movies.
And in conclusions, intertextuality creates a connection between the film and its original text. It can help establish engagement and give a sense of familiarity. Star Wars is a film that many have come to familiarize themselves with over the years due to its popularity. Intertextual reference to the film has been displayed in various forms of quotations and allusions, allowing the viewers to connect to a film in another way. And that concludes our presentations. Thanks for watching.